What up, y'all? So season 2 of Interview with the Vampire kicked off, and I must admit, it was a slow start, but next week, we going to be in Paris, so I'm lit. I'm lit about being in Paris. But this week, we were in the deep parts of Europe on the search for vampires, and it was all doom and gloom, okay? It was not good. First off, I want to say bravo to Delainey Hayles. You stepped into some big shoes of Kirsten, Dunst, and Bailey Bass, and I'm supporting it. It was a lot more seamless than I thought it was going to be. I'm just going to be honest. But I was already sold on Delainey after these last 2 trailers, so I'm supporting her 1,000%. I love her version of Claudia. Hard stop. This is a Delainey Hayles support page, all right? I'm rocking with her. We have to realize that at this point, Claudia is probably 30 to 40 years old, so she's older and she's different. She's not a young teenager in the mind anymore. Body, yes, she's still a kid, but she's very mature. At times, smarter than Louis. We saw in season 1 that there were things that Claudia could see that Louis was turning a blind eye to, especially when it came down to Lestat and Antoinette. So I like that we're growing with Claudia. I'm down with her. Now, that Daniel Molloy, I don't like him. He's arrogant, he's pompous, and he has an attitude while he's sitting down talking to 2 vampires. This man has lost his mind. I thought by season 2 he would grow on me a little bit more, but no, still don't like him. Bring Christian Slater back. Why they didn't just let Christian Slater come back and do the interviews? He was the original interviewer in the OG movie from the 90s. I liked his interview style. This old Daniel Molloy, this news, he be trying them. I think he be wanting them vampires to chew him up. But real talk, I love this whole cast except for him. Maybe he'll start to grow on me a little bit more as we get deeper into the season. But he just got a little feisty attitude. He's crazy. So anyway, let's get into this episode recap. So the episode starts off with Louis and Claudia coming from underground now. They ain't got coffins, so they are pretty much living the ghetto, the poor lifestyle. They have to live under the earth.
The ghetto! The ghetto!
They are in the gutter. They are down bad. They're going through all this just to try to find if there's other vampires in the world. It's crazy, right? But this is what a guilty man does to make his daughter happy. Now, Claudia has always been vicious. But baby girl has now learned how to fly a little bit, and she can now sense things before they even happen. So she's pretty much leading this excursion through the old country because she's been able to pick up and learn the languages in the different places that she's going to. So she's pretty much the leader, and Louis is kind of playing like the follower position. Now, Daniel's trying to interview Louis, but Louis is struggling. So Armand is sitting there like trying to help him out, and Daniel is like, yo, just disregard the vampire Armand. He is not important. Like, I get it, Daniel. You want to focus on Louis. You want Armand to kind of go on about his business, but you be talking to Armand crazy. Now, Louis is pretty much telling Claudia, like, girl, we can't keep drinking. This blood over here is full of death and depression and sadness, and it's causing us not to have the ability to warm up anymore. These people are just torn down by this war, and we can feel it and taste it when we're sucking their blood. We really should be eating these people, but guess what? Claudia didn't care. Claudia still has an attitude with Louis because he did not burn Lestat. So over these past couple of years since they've been walking through Europe, she's pretty much been giving him the silent treatment. She's pissed off. And at this point, I think they've been traveling for about 4 years now on this search to try to find other vampires. Now, since Claudia is pissed off with Louis, she's really not talking to him and interacting with him anymore. Sometimes Louis creates these visions of Lestat. They're pretty much coming about due to his subconscious. He always sees them in like a negative light. It's never really anything positive so far from what we've seen. And he has this inkling. He has this feeling that, yo, Lestat is going to come back after me one day, and he is going to get me for the betrayal that I did to him. And Lestat's pretty much like, yep, I'm coming, but it's going to be when you least expect it. I'm going to get you when you are happy, when you are secure. That's when I'm going to strike. Now, as Claudia and Louis are traveling through the old country, they notice that people are wearing garlic, there's crosses everywhere, and they're shooting up coffins. So Claudia's like, yo, it has to be a vampire here somewhere. These are all the clues that the normal folk use to kind of prevent vampires for coming around. And Louis is like, bruh, Claudia, we've been looking for all these years. This is no proof that there's vampires around. Like, let it go. And she's like, no, let's keep walking. We're about to investigate this scenario. Now, Claudia eventually does find a vampire in the woods, but he is like a zombie vampire. He is completely out of his mind. And in the books, I think he's referred to as the Revenant. So those are vampires that are essentially zombies. They're not like the regular vampires like Louis and Claudia and Lestat and Armand, like normal people who can kind of blend in day-to-day activities. These vampires are clearly on the brink of death, and they can't control themselves. They're completely out of their mind. Now, as Louis is telling Daniel the story, he's realizing that he's forgetting things. He's not remembering things how he used to remember. Things are not coming together like they should. And that bothers him really, really bad because he really wants to remember. He wants to remember because, a lot of these things have to do with his relationship with Claudia. And that's his baby girl. She is near and dear to his heart. So it's frustrating him. He even tells Armand, like, yo, I think I want to read some of the pages that were torn out of Claudia's diary. Now, Armand is like, look, Louis, you don't need to go pulling out them old pages. Sometimes she's writing about me. It may not show me in the best light. We just need to let it go. I don't think we should go there. But he was like, yo, if you insist, we can put the pages together and I'll let you read them. Now, my theory is Armand is manipulating Louis' memories. Not only is he manipulating Louis' memories, I think he's manipulating Daniel's memories as well. When it comes to manipulation, Armand is very similar to Lestat. They want a companion. So they want to do whatever they have to do to keep their companion happy. And Armand thinks by suppressing Louis and making him not remember certain things, it's going to keep him happy and it's going to keep him close. Because Armand knows if Louis starts to remember how things really went, hey, their relationship may not be as good as it is right now. He thinks that he's protecting Louis, but in reality, Armand is protecting himself. Let's keep it real. Now, back to the interview. Claudia decides to take Louis to meet the vampire that she found in the woods, the zombie vampire. And then the vampire's mama, we're going to call her Mama Vampire. The Mama Vampire jumps out and she starts beating Louis up. Now, as she's beating Louis up, then the zombie vampire jumps on Louis' back and starts beating him up. Yo, Louis is always getting his ass beat. We got to get Louis into some martial arts, some Taibo. We got to get Louis into some type of Floyd Mayweather boxing classes because he keeps getting beat up. So Claudia has to come save the day. She rips the zombie vampire's eyes out and the mother vampire is completely distraught. Like, yo, what did you do to my son? Let me tell you something. Claudia is vicious. Claudia do not be playing. Everybody else be outside playing games. Claudia is about that life. Now, the mother vampire is so upset. She's destroyed, and she decides to go home and kind of sulk and cry about losing her zombie son. Claudia is very persistent on wanting to know more about her history. So she tells Louis, hey, yo, we need to follow her and get some answers. And Louis is like, oh, my God. Come on, Claudia, let's go. Louis is pretty much like, Claudia, what can the damned say to the damned? Which is the episode title. So they get to Mama Vampire's place and they start talking to her and asking her questions. And Claudia is like, yo, you should come back to the U.S. with us. The people are a lot healthier there. And she's like, you know what? I probably will start to get my strength back. I'll start to look better. I might do go back with y'all. She's like, there's really nothing else left here. There's no more vampires. It's just me. You already got rid of my son in the woods. So, yeah, I might as well go with y'all. So at this point, Claudia's happy, like, yes, we're about to get some answers. And Mama Vampire's like, psych, fooled you. And she goes and jumps in the fire pit and kills herself. And yo, you can literally see the sadness form in Claudia's eyes. She's like, oh my God, this was our answers. And now our answer is completely gone. She's like, yo, damn, I'm never going to find out any information. So at this point, Louis decides, hey, I'm going to be the leader. Let me take control. We've been following you for a couple years. I'm about to take over everything. And we're about to go to Paris. We are about to go to the country that is closest to New Orleans. We are going to Old Paris. Now, in the meantime, shoot back to present day, Armand is talking to Louis like, yo, this interview is getting out of hand. I don't really like Daniel. I feel like he's like picking you apart to put you back together. I don't like the way that this is going. Armand is like, yo, I want to start sitting in on some of these sessions. And maybe, I can help guide this thing a little bit better. We can treat this like couples therapy. So Louis like, okay, cool. Yeah, you should come in. Yeah, that works. So they show up the next day like two little happy gay men. And Daniel is sitting there like, yo, what the hell is going on? Armand, why are you back? And Armand is sitting here like, baby, I'm here and I have things to say. Armand is like, I'm about to steer this ship because we're getting to Paris and this is the part of the story where I come about and I want to make sure Louis is safe and is telling this story the right way. So yes, I'm here. I'm sitting next to my man.
And my man. Thank you to my man.
And we're about to do this thing together. Now, episode 2 is titled, Do You Know What It Means to Be Loved by Death? And we are about to meet this messy-ass coven of vampires in episode 2. And you know what? Based off of the trailers, Claudia is about to be around her people. She's so excited. She thinks she's finally going to be able to get some answers. But sis, I don't know about this coven. I don't know. But yo, I'm excited that we are finally in Paris. This is some of my favorite parts of the movies and the TV shows. I am down. So how do y'all feel about episode 1? I thought it was a little slow. But now that I realize it kind of was set up like a prelude, I can digest it a little bit better. But I ain't gonna front. When it first aired, I'm like, okay, when we gonna get to Paris? Why are we still in these war zones? I don't like this. But now, when I step away and look back at it, it was a good prelude to set up Paris. It's really gonna be a fool because they're about to go from being in all this doom and gloom to looking better, dressing better, eating better. So, I'm so excited for Paris. But, leave your comments below. How do you feel about episode 1? And are you excited for Paris? Thanks for hanging out with me. Peace.